So here's my theory of what really happened to Ashlee Robinson in Tanzania. Okay, so mob violence is actually common, but they say it's rare for tourists. But, in certain areas, predominantly Muslim areas like Zanzibar, where Ashlee and her so-called fiance or whatever, soon-be fiance, husband, whatever, was at, public displays of affection is really serious. Same-sex affection. They just got cool with interracial stuff like in the 80s in certain parts of Africa. So that's another thing. But, with these Muslim countries, they're not really cool with the interracial thing. They say they are, but not traditional countries. They really aren't. Okay? So I think they lynched her. I really wish I didn't say that word. I hope they don't get things flagged. But I'm going to bleep that out. Anyway, I'm going to edit this. But I think the people of Tanzania or Zanzibar took things in their own hands. They hung her up on that tree or wherever they hung her up on. They locked him up and they're like framing him because they know that we will believe it because, Black Americans are pretty racist and prejudiced also. It's really a cultural thing. Black Americans should really actually research African culture so they can see that they are pretty similar. So they can stop denying the fact that they are African. We have a hive mind. Well, I don't, but most Black Americans have a hive mind mentality just like these people, regardless if they're a religious extremist or not. And then they just go off of just little information on things, run with it, and then form a hate mob, hate squad. I've been going through this since high school with these people. Instead of actually researching and actually talking or interviewing to, the other person to get their side of things, they just go with whatever the popular person is saying, or, they don't really look deeper into stuff. Because when Americans are going to second and third world countries, they're putting themselves in a lot of danger, okay? There is no real policing. There is no real justice system. There is no real documentation going on in countries like Tanzania. It's really unorganized. And things like this could happen to you. You can get unalived by the community if you disrespect their cultures, which I don't know. And I want to research more on what could get you the witchcraft allegations going there. Because, she could have been like wearing certain jewelry or, little, evil eye stuff or, little hippie stuff or, I don't know, just not respecting their culture, immodest dressing. Yeah, she probably did that. But that comes with fines and aggressive confrontations. But she probably talked back with them people and didn't really care. Like, if you, if you argue with a man in these countries, yeah, they will show you what's up, okay? You can't, you don't really have rights in these countries when you go to these Islamic countries. And that's what Americans don't understand. They get this Americanized version of Islam, think it's safe, think it's fun, think it's easy, think it's just like Christianity, But once they get into it, they realize, no, it's crazy. And y'all have to pray 3 times a day or something like that, 4 times a day. Bang your head against the floor. Or pray to this black cube, and bang your head against the floor. You're not allowed to exfoliate your skin in the shower. Or really wipe when you're using the restroom. Yeah, you can use a plum gun. You can use a plum gun, but you can't use any real rags, paper, nothing. It's really unsanitary and disgusting and unhygienic to just go with your whole life without exfoliating your skin with something. These people can't put nothing to the skin, but maybe a rock. What it says to the Quran. What it says, according to the Quran, you can put stones to your body. I guess that y'all are scrubbing with stones. Can someone fill me in on that? Help me understand. But yes, people don't understand when you go out to these Islamic countries or second or third world countries, there is no laws. It's lawless. You don't have organized police. You don't have a judicial system. And the community can take you out and cover it up. That's my theory. But, I mean, nobody really want to go with that. They just want to just be prejudiced. Which, you know, these are all the things that can get you messed up in Tanzania. Criticizing the government online, taking photos of sensitive areas, taking photographs and videos of government buildings, which they probably went there and didn't know that they were breaking so many laws. Both her and him. Immodest dress in Zanzibar, which you see in those photos, she was wearing mini skirts and all that, instead of wearing a traditional Muslim garb, which, you know, some parts of, I guess, Tanzania isn't Muslim, but some parts are, which Zanzibar is. Witchcraft allegations. What if she was burning sage or something? Like, y'all are not even taking in the possibility that she was taken out by the government and her husband's being held there and tortured because they're in an interracial situation. And Muslims don't like that at all. They don't believe in that. But yeah. They believe in, inbreeding, actually, and cousin marriage and stuff still, and arranged marriages with children and stuff. But this is what's being promoted in mainstream America, like government, like the liberals. They're promoting this for some reason. I guess and those injections really brought down the IQ levels of everybody. That, you know, those injections from 2020, I don't know. I'm still seeing effects on everybody because there were more critical thinkers before 2020. I don't know what happened. So I'm just going to keep blaming that until I figure out what happened. But, okay, public displays of this affection, yeah, kissing and excessive touching. They probably was kissing up on each other and just so happy just after she got her engagement. Yeah, just all in front of them traditional Muslims. Like, what? And then they already think it's sick that they're together anyway. You know, they're looking at her like a whole escort or something. Same-sex public affection, you know, accusations of theft. And that's crazy that so many, like, LGBTQ people are converting to Islam in America, but if they go to these countries, these traditional Islamic countries, they would get lynched. They would get strung up somewhere. Traditionally, the old traditional way, strung up because these Muslims think it's an abomination. It's like old world Christianity, but we are coming out of that. Coming out of slavery, and y'all are being convinced to just take in another sick, twisted, freaking religion or religious doctrine that promotes slavery or indoctrinated servitude. And these people just freed their slaves, I think, in the 1980s. You know, the Islamic world, supposedly, but there are countries that still openly do slavery. They take Africans and bring them up to work for nothing, for housing and food. Okay? Like y'all don't take none of this seriously, and y'all don't really research cultures outside of America, and that's why everybody think Americans are dumb and just, you know, I really wish people would actually research. A better theory is they were just off by the community. But y'all don't even want to see that because y'all are really prejudiced or racist. Y'all are more racist than the other races out here. Black Americans are more racist than the other races out here. Which, I mean, I don't know, these traditional African Muslims probably top Black Americans for sure. And that's why Black men are just gravitating towards, you know, the Islamic regime right now to get power over everyone. It's the Muslim Brotherhood that took over the so-called conscious community. And they're going to take over the world if Black women don't speak up, or women in general don't speak up and see through these people.